Whichever path contains scenes and depictions of violence, adult content, foul language, and other situations that some people may find objectionable. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to The Path. Now this one is a long time coming. Over at our studios, sickness, family woes, travel, and lost voices delayed this episode. But here we are. When we last left you, our siren Jean had given into the pull of the cursed ribbon and followed its current toward a small house on River Street in Salem. The sky turned gray, and she saw a vision of her lost love sitting in a chair, his mouth starting to open. The vision suddenly ended, and in front of her was the owner of the house, a strange and powerful woman who was prepared to defend her home from this unnatural intruder. Jean let her know that she needed help, that she was cursed. The woman believed her and demanded that she show her face or arm before they continued their discussion. Jean, unsure what to do, was faced with another choice, and you chose for her to reveal her harm. Whichever path presents Message in a Bottle, Part 4. Open up.
I take a step back, and I let go of my arm. As my hand starts to reach for her gate, I grab onto the gauze and begin to unwrap myself. I do it clumsily with my left hand, and in my impatience, it begins to wad up, hanging loosely. The first layers are still white, but what's underneath is stained with my blood. The woman watches. She makes no attempt to move forward. This hurts so much. But with a final tug, the pewter moth falls out from the gauze, like it was coming out of a cocoon. The pendant swings wildly on its string, and then the chain snaps, and the moth escapes, crashing against her white gate and dropping to the sidewalk. The ribbon is still sawing into my flesh. I cry out in pain. Please help, it won't let go. She points at the gate.
Wait here. I'm gonna get this off of you.
She walks into the house. The pain makes it hard for me to see. She returns, holding a jar in one hand and a knife in the other. Standing at the gate, she looks me in the eye.
Here's what we're gonna do. I'll open the gate and have you sit in the chair. I'm gonna get it off of you.
What if it attaches itself to you?
That's what the jar is for.
She opens the gate. She mutters something, and my hand responds. The ribbon starts to loosen on my forearm. Its bloody ends float on the breeze. She leans towards them, as though she were about to listen to the ribbon's secrets. I watch them reach toward her, then arc back like snakes about to strike. And that's when I feel the knife on the outside of my wrist. The ribbon hangs in the air for a moment, and then the wind picks it up, blowing through my hair and toward her. She lifts the jar, and the ribbons fly into it, scraping the inner walls, as though they're trying to get through them to her hand. Dropping the knife, she fishes the jar lid from her pocket and screws it on. Who is she?
Come inside. I want to take a look at your cuts.
Mom?
Hang out in my room, baby.
Okay.
She points me to her kitchen. I smell herbs and burning incense. We pass a closet. I feel dread and fear coming off the door. I shuffle past it a bit faster, nearly bumping into her. The kitchen is spacious, with a butcher block in its center. It's covered in mail and random boxes of cereal. A stuffed sloth hangs off of one side. She goes under the sink and takes out the first aid kit. She motions me to an empty chair at her kitchen table. I sit.
What should I call you?
Jean. Thank you. I was...
Yeah, there's no way for me to disinfect it without hurting. It bled a lot, but it's pretty shallow. I don't think stitches are needed.
I thought I would lose my hand.
Maybe, if you kept trying to fight it. But you're here now. Okay. Done. Do you remember what the message was?
She should know who I am. She'll need me too.
Was that it? Was that all it said?
I'm sorry, I don't... Does your name start with a G?
No, it doesn't. Why?
There were initials. G and L. She looks at the jar on the table. The ribbon lays on the bottom, lifeless.
All you did was open a bottle?
Yes. I was out at sea. When I sang to stop the pain, I hurt so many things. I couldn't keep doing this. Was the message for you? Is someone trying to hurt you?
No, they just don't care if someone who read it before me got hurt. They wanted it to get to me no matter what. But I don't need to tell you what they're like.
Fairies? You're talking about the good folk.
I don't want to insult you, but your people really aren't known for considering others the way I was raised. And I don't trust your gifts. But I helped you now. I set you free.
I was born here.
What?
Not here. The coast of Maine. I'm not what you say I am. She stares at my mask.
You've killed people.
Several. Bad people. I don't have to tell you your kind has bad people too. I know what they are, and I stop them from hurting others. Have you not protected others like this? I hear a door open and then slam. She stands up and almost calls out a name, but stops. She looks at me.
You should leave now. I think your hand will be okay.
The jar tips over on the table. It starts to roll towards the edge. She grabs it and holds it. She picks up her knife and punctures the lid, like she was making air holes for it to breathe. She listens to the hole, and when she does, the ribbon snaps to life. It swirls about the jar, and then it just falls.
Okay, that should be that. I think I need a favor from you now, Jean.
What is it?
I'd like you to take my reply back to the ocean.
How?
I've got a bottle here somewhere. I'll write a reply, and we'll set it out to sea. It'll find him.
Will it hurt anyone?
No.
What does he want? Does he want your little girl?
I don't know. But I do know I won't let him come here. Will you take this for me? If you do, you owe me nothing for my help.
I think about it. The witch has power. And to say no might make her angry. But to do this means I might be caught between her and something else. Maybe. Maybe there's something I could do she wouldn't expect.
Our siren's choices are decline, agree to help, or prove to Michaela that she's not a threat. Make your decision now at whicheverpath.com/vote. You have until October 23rd. Valentine Buchanan is your siren. Journey LaFond is Michaela. Ava LaFond played Lily. The theme song is by Ryder. The following songs come courtesy of licensing through epidemicsound.com. Warning Signal by Max Anson. Tourbillon by Edward Carl Hansen. Curious Incentives by Anthony Earls. And Mermaid's Eulogy by Etienne Rousseau. The Foley is by Whichever Path, with supplementary effects by Epidemic Sound and Audio Hero. If you like what you heard, there's even more to this story at patreon.com/whicheverpath. Not only will you get extra episodes and behind-the-scenes content, you'll also help support our show. Consider a subscription today. That's it for today's episode. Take care of yourself out there. We have a lot happening in this world. And whatever you do, sleep with a clear consequence. Choose the path.
Come on, tell me more about your monster world.
Right. October is one of the written worlds. Places that exist because we need them to tell stories. It might be the oldest, because it serves one of the deepest needs. It is a world that's made of monsters.
Here we go.
Gargoyles, working construction, and gremlins in the machinery. Trolls and the lindworm, and were creatures in the forest. Gillfolks in the rivers, and kaiju beyond the mountains. The moonkin and the puka. And I know at least one skeleton by name.
I'm gonna stop you before the Jabberwock and the Jubjumbird. I get the picture. It'd sure be something if that were a place where we could actually go, wouldn't it, Caro?
Yeah, it sure would be.
Waiting for October, a queer supernatural audio drama from Monkey Man Productions. Find us in all your podcast apps. The story starts this Halloween.